I don't care how much money I'm currently making. I pretend that I'm broke every single day and I could lose it all. And I've kept that with me every single day because I feel like that's very powerful. You ever meet somebody, or maybe it's even yourself, that when something happens and the chips are down, or like, somebody's doing shitty at a certain thing, and then suddenly they're like, look, man, like, you're gonna get fired, or like, you're not gonna be a leader anymore. You see a different version of them come out for 1 week or 2 weeks. You're like, damn, where was this person at the whole time? Or a contest comes out, or there's an opportunity to get promoted, opportunity to win something, and you see a different version of this person come out. You're like, where has that person been? Well, it's because their back was against the wall, and you had to force that. Life's about recognizing patterns. If the pattern to me is when my back's up against the wall, I'm gonna perform. How do I force myself to get in that mindset every single time? Well, I do it in unresponsible ways and responsible ways. An unresponsible way I do it in is I don't have a budget. I don't watch my expenses. If I wanna buy something, I buy it and I say I have to work harder. And that makes me work harder because I'm gonna continue to spend what I wanna spend, and I'm gonna continue to work harder and harder to get there. I book vacations. Even if I can't budget it, I'll book the vacation early. And I know this vacation's coming, and I know it's gonna cost some money, and the money's gonna be due a week before, and the credit card's gonna be charged, and the interest is gonna come, and I only have 30 days to make that payment. And I'll do that sometimes to force myself in an uncomfortable position to work harder. And that for me works out. It might not work out for everybody, but what is it for you to get you into that flow state? How could you put your back up against the wall? And then how could you remember one of the toughest moments you face and the toughest thing you've overcame? What version of yourself were you? What were the chips that were laying on the table? What was your purpose? What was your motivation? Who mentored you? How'd you feel? How'd you act? How'd you dress? How'd you wake up? How'd you sleep? And why did you do all of that? And then how could you duplicate that every single day? We work all of our lives to get to financial freedom, and typically at the end, we usually don't get there, or we die in the process, or we burn the most important years and times and experiences of our life trying to get there. So a new philosophy that I've learned about is to put the final cause as the first cause, which means pretend the final cause is today. What do you do with everything else you're doing? How do you think? How do you operate? And how do you maneuver through your day and through your schedule?
Successful folks, the ones that you see on Behind the Music or some documentaries made about them, they made the choice to get outside their comfort zone, and I think a lot of us live inside of it. And as somebody that definitely started inside of his, I was the shy kid. I wasn't talking to no girls at no parties. That was not a thing. I saw the people, probably like you, that didn't have any problem walking up on somebody that they were interested in, and so that's where I started. And I think it's good to talk about, is there a way to get out of that? Because I think some people feel like, hey, no, this is just who I am. I'm gonna stay in this lane, and maybe I'll be envious of those guys or ladies that are able to get outside their comfort zone, or maybe I'll hate on them in my own mind, or maybe I'll make excuses as to why I don't get outside of my comfort zone. But I think it's an important topic because, especially people with experience that have been doing, it's important that you share. It's important that you talk about, share your experiences and talk about your journey. And so,
where did it start for you? Because you said you started off having a hard time getting out of your comfort zone. So let's get to the root to the problem. Where did it start?
I really changed for me was the public speaking aspect of what I get a chance to do. I was scared to death to get up in front of a group in college, after college, even running huddles, working in the restaurant business. Man, I was so nervous to be able to get up there, and I think that plagues a lot of people today. And I crashed and burned in front of some really important folks, and I was done. That was it. There was no comfort zone I was getting out of. I was all the way inside of it. Well, after that, I realized that, man, I don't want to live here. And it was important that I take some steps to get out of there. Somebody like you, however, though, I believe you were the opposite lane, right? That wasn't how you started. You even told me when I brought this topic up, I live outside of my comfort zone, Lang.
It doesn't matter where you're comfortable or where you're not comfortable. Like, all that matters to me is results and success. That's all that matters to me. Tell me what I need to do, Lang. Tell me do I need to dance in front of this camera with bananas in front of me? Like, what do I got to do? And I'm gonna do it. If it's gonna reach me to success, I'm gonna do it. So my thought process right now and the way I'm attacking life is, tell me what I got to do to be successful. I'm gonna do it. I don't care how uncomfortable it gets me. Is that out of my comfort zone when I share my YouTube channel, when I get up here in front of the camera and I do these kind of things? That could be a little bit out of my comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
But I'm doing it because I'm gonna do whatever it takes to find success. And if I'm not doing this, trust me, it'll be something else. That's where I'm at. And I think for anybody that's uncomfortable getting out of their comfort zone, how bad do you really want results is what I want to ask you, because everything that you actually try to change and try to get better at, you're going to get better at. But I bet you the people that are uncomfortable and don't get out of their comfort zone haven't really done shit to get better at getting out of their comfort zone. The biggest issue that people have is just breaking out of the comfort zone and taking the first step. And then after they take the first step, continuing to take that step every single day because it's uncomfortable. Nobody likes discomfort. Nobody likes delayed gratification. Everybody wants something right now, right here. What makes me feel good right now? Do that thing. Makes me feel good? Do it. Makes me feel good? Do it. Doesn't make me feel good? Stay away. Doesn't make me feel good? Stay away. So Brian Tracy defines success. Success is the ability to live your life the way you want to live it, doing what you most enjoy, surrounded by people who you admire and respect. I mean, to me, that's true freedom. You know, I used to chase money and objects. I grew past that and I've matured. And then I started chasing time. Not time in a sense where I want to own time, but I want to control my own time where it doesn't matter. I could do something whenever I want on my clock, and I'm on the path to do that. So I believe true success is being able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, and you're truly in charge of your own life and your own time. Everybody knows what success is, but before even thinking what it feels and what it looks like and how life's going to be when you find success, I think it's very important on the right side to really evaluate what goes into success. When you realize that that one decision connects to another decision, and a third decision, and a fourth decision, and a fifth decision, you start realizing that maybe every decision you make matters. And this not only applies to your business life, but it also applies to your personal life. And I'll give you guys a perfect example of that with Danny. And I just want you to see this chain of decisions that led to this here. The first decision was being friends with Adam Amer in high school. That decision led to a friendship with me and Adam. Adam ends up moving to California, and he went through a lot of shit. We didn't communicate much. We lost contact. There was another decision that was made where Adam added me on Instagram. We started following each other, and that led to a phone call with me and him talking. Another decision or two. This is what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe. That decision led to Adam reaching out to me and saying, why don't you ever come by California? I want to show you, what I'm doing out here. Me making the decision to come and visit Adam in California was another decision, right? I could have said no. I could have said, I don't want to go for business. I could go to Florida. I could go anywhere else. I'm not the biggest fan of California. But I said, let's go visit Adam. I visit Adam, make another decision. The decision was, I'm going to work on this trip. I want to originate clients while I'm in California, and I'm going to work from his office at Lone Vault. Go to California and work. Who walks in? Danny and Eric. Again, I don't know Danny and Eric at the time. They walk into his office. They tell me these are the guys that own West Capital, and I have another decision to make. I could keep banking and try to close another loan for the day, or I could aux out and meet these guys. So I made the decision to aux out and meet them with no intentions or anything, just to, meet and greet them, see who they are, see what they're doing, and just chat it up with them. Adam throws me in there and he throws a pitch on me about, joining West Capital, and then he tells them about what I do and how I could help. And then I make another decision to go straight for the kill. I talk to Danny and Eric right away and tell them what I've been doing, and I ask them questions, and I know Danny probably wasn't expecting it. And we had a long, good conversation at the office with Adam. It's another decision, right? After that, I made the decision to follow up, because I always follow up, and we followed up together. And email after email, phone call after phone call. Danny, it took a long time to get you as a client. A few times until finally I said, Danny, put me in your damn VP meeting. Let me speak to these guys one time. And I got to talk to the VPs. And all of that led to so much business I've done with West Capital, and them being, my favorite and most loyal clients, and working with Al Bennett's team and taking them to another level, and then working with other teams like John and Sean. Like, all of these things started from me and Adam's friendship. So if you just take that simple circumstance of every one of those decisions, it's about 25 decisions in there that led to this. So you might ask yourself, all right, everything in life connects, that's great. What do we do with that information now? Well, you have to ask yourself, what things do you want to connect in your life? If you want to be successful, if you want to close deals, what are the many connections that come before that? Is it waking up early? Is it staying up late? Is it working weekends? Is it branding? Is it building relationships? Is it working out in the morning? Figure out what you want to do in your life. What's the end point for you? you know, the end result, the end connection of all connections. And then ask yourself, if I had to put 30 smaller chain reactions behind that, what are those 30 smaller chain reactions? What are those 20 smaller chain reactions? What are the 5 smaller chain reactions? And you write down those 5 smaller chain reactions and you apply them and turn them into habits every single day. I found myself stressed out the other day, and then somebody had to remind me, hey idiot, aren't you living your dream right now? Like, remember 5 years ago when you said that, man, I wish I was just full-time consulting and traveling and doing seminars and talking to people and motivating people and having books and all this. Like, it was my dream 5 years ago, and now my dream is 10 levels above that dream. And I found myself stressed out. I have too many companies and I'm back to back and I'm filling up my schedule. And then I told myself, like, this is part of the journey. So the point of that is, like, there's always going to be a new journey, regardless of what you think your success is right now. Like, the true ultimate freedom for me is financial freedom and time. But it also is very necessary. The most important part is realizing and evaluating everything that's going to happen in the middle that's going to suck. Because everything that happens in the middle of success that sucks before you get there is the stuff that makes people give up. So I tell people the best way to reverse engineer it is think about the things that could fuck you up on your path. Think about how they're gonna feel when they happen. Think about how you typically react when they happen. Think about how you could change your reaction when they happen. Think about positive action items you could lay on those things when they happen and how you could change them. What do you want in your life? And when you think about what you want in your life, understand that what you want in your life is going to change many times. So don't think what you want right now is what you're going to want forever. Think about what you want in levels. What's the first level of what you want? And as you mature and hit that and change and get better, what's the second level of what you want? And as you mature and hit that and get better and deal with all the bullshit in between, which is where the funnel gets, you know, thinner and thinner and thinner, because nobody could go through the bullshit, the bullshit, the bullshit. And it's just more and more bullshit the deeper you get and the more successful you get, right? They say that money doesn't solve problems. The more money you have, the deeper the problems, the deeper the pocket. Like, I want $1 million month. I have $1 million chocolate bar in front of me. I want to have $1 million month, not $1 million year. I'm trying to have $1 million month. And once I have that $1 million month, I can open up this chocolate and eat it. And I haven't ate chocolate in a long time, so it's going to be a hell of a good chocolate once I get it. That's in front of me right now. It's small things like this, you know? It's small things like lighting a candle that says I am wealthy and playing positive affirmations when I'm doing my work in the morning. Like, all these small things, sometimes people think it's crazy, and like, I can't even listen to music in the car anymore because, like, I'm not even used to it. It's not comfortable for me no more. It used to be tough, you know, to not listen to music, and now it's like tough to listen to music because I'm always listening to something to inspire me and push me forward. So a lot of these things seem like they're difficult in the beginning, but if you break through and make them habits and consistent, it's going to change you overall. So what do you want? Write a letter to yourself, or write your goals, or get a picture and just put it somewhere that it's going to remind you every single day. Perfect spot is at the mirror where you brush your teeth every single morning. It should be the first thing you see and the last thing you see if you brush your teeth twice a day. It could be at your desk. It could be in your car, in your dashboard. It could be in your phone. But have that in front of you every single day and actually look at it, visualize it, read it, listen to it. Whatever you have to do, choose your reminder and see what happens after 34. Like, if you don't believe me, just do it for 14 days and see what happens. Like, see if anything changes. And it might be the slightest little thing that changes, but that thing connects to something else, and then it connects to something else, and it connects to something else, and it continues to connect as you go. The only reason I memorized my goals is because I had an action item every single day that reminded me of them. Now, did I have to spend any extra time? No. Did I have to read? No. Did I have to set aside time? No. I brushed my teeth every single day, and I swiped down and Siri reads it. It was a simple hack that I did to keep my goals on my mind all year long. Now, what happened is I did that on vacation. My friends would hear it in the hotel. What happened when I did that and my wife and my son come in? They would hear it while they walk in the bathroom. Everybody got involved in my goals from the simple habit of swiping down and playing them every single day. So I want you to take the time right now, if you haven't already. Hopefully you are right now. But take the time right now to write this letter to yourself from your future self in 2025. Assuming that you accomplish everything that you did, come out of your body, have an outer body experience, talk to yourself from your future self to the past self, and tell yourself how it feels to accomplish everything that you've done. And write that letter to yourself. I prefer it to be in the phone so Siri could read it to you every day. But heck, you could do a letter and put it on your, dresser by your bed. You could do a letter and tape it to the mirror in your bathroom. You could put it as the background of your phone. Whatever way that you have to do it to keep it in front of you, it's super important that it stays in front of you all year long. And then like you'll have a letter just like mine where 80% of it's green because you just accomplish everything in the letter, because you subconsciously primed your mind to do these things. If you want to lose weight and every single day your refrigerator, as soon as you opened it said, don't eat, fat ass, don't eat, fat ass. Every single day your fridge talked to you. You think that would help you lose some weight? Or would you give in and say, I'm just gonna be fat and not lose weight? It's just these constant reminders and hacks are gonna help you. Some people are content with where they are and that's okay. And there's other people like me and you that we wanna hit the sky. You know, the sky is the limit, we wanna go there, and we're very ambitious. So
that's true.
I think it's important that we surround ourselves with those ambitious people so you can continue to grow, because if you surround yourself with 5 people that have no interest at all in self-development, you're gonna end up not having any interest in self-development at all.
That's true. You know, you wanna be around like-minded people who like to help others, people who like to motivate and inspire others. And you know what happens is when you help someone, I mean, you end up paying it forward. That person pays it forward, right? So I am a result of otherwise people who helped me, now I'm helping other people.
Yep.
So it's a constant positive energy that keeps going around. And I think, you know, we were talking about the people who don't care for self-development, you know, because we are the way we are, we wish everyone could be that way, because we get so much fulfillment from it. But not everyone gets fulfilled by self-development. They're good with just doing their own thing, you know, something else.
If you study and research all the successful people out there, they gambled every single day and they played it like the house, and they went all in on their chips every single day at life to get where they want to go. Elon Musk had him and his girlfriend sleeping at his friend's apartment on the couch and on the floor for, you know, over a year with no money at all. He gambled all in 3 times, lost everything, built it back up. You know, Gary Vee recorded a YouTube show every single day for years with, you know, barely any subscribers. He did it way longer than me and you are doing it. And now look at him, 7 million followers and running. And Mark Cuban, like all these millionaires, billionaires have the same exact story. They went all in every single day. There's not one single one of them that got it easy. Everybody went all in every single day. The thing that bugs me the most is how many people waste time on things that are outside of their passions or their purpose or outside of them winning lives, but they spend so much time and energy into it. And listen, I get it. You like football, you want to play fit, like I get it, you right? There's some things I like watching UFC, so I'll spend my time on pay-per-view nights, bringing the guys over, watching the fight. So there's things I like too, but everything in moderation. But there's people that I know and that I see that consume 80-90% of their life with this one thing, and
Let
then
it dominate them.
let it dominate them. Don't consume barely anything else to their passion and their purpose and what they want to do. And that really drives me crazy. The only people it doesn't drive me crazy for are the people that they just want to have this kind of life. Some people are happy with that. They just want to make this much. They want to go home, play their video games. They want to watch football. They don't want anything more out of life. They don't got any big passions or purpose, you know? And that's fine too. So if you really want that, keep doing it. But for the people that complain about where they are, they complain about how shit's going in their life, but then all their time is consumed with some bullshit that doesn't make them any dividends or return. What you do for yourself when you wake up changes your life, right? Hamid gave me a USB in 2000 and probably like 12 of Tony Robbins' Hour of Power, and I listened to that, and that kind of changed my life because I started waking up at 5 in the morning. I started working out, drinking coffee, writing down gratitude, writing down my goals, meditating. All these small things I started doing in the morning made me get momentum for my day. I felt good starting my day. So that's the first set of rituals that are important that I'd recommend. If you're not doing them already, do them. And it doesn't have to be writing goals or gratitude. It has to be whatever it is for you. It could be walking your dog, talking to a family member, reading a newspaper, reading a book, praying. Whatever makes you feel good, that's the first domino that you should be doing in the morning.
If you bake a cake without sugar, you can't expect it to be sweet.
Yes.
Now I know with keto and stuff, you can make it sweet in other ways. Like I get it, right? But we gotta stay strong. But what I really mean is, if your values are the sugar, stop sprinkling them on top. Like bake it in from the start. Like work from your values.
Build your moat.
You build your moat. Yeah. Don't like you should value your time. Don't time your values.
Yes.
Right? If you really value your time and you really work from your values, you will choose to do the things that are most valuable to you. And if you by default now are putting work first over your values, family, time, relationships, etc., well then you have by default told the world what's more important to you. No, that's not me. I'm just waiting until the big payoff later. There's no big payoff.
The payoff is life.
Yes. Even if there is a big payoff, there's not a big payoff.
Yeah.
The big payoff is actually being able to do it right now, because how you spend your time is how you show your love. And if you decide that you're going to sacrifice what you love for success, it doesn't work, because when you sacrifice what you love for success, you get neither.
So there was 2 moments that changed my life when it comes to motivation. The first moment was back in the accessory business before I sold. Our partners in Miami gave me a USB for Tony Robbins, said, listen to this, it'll change your life. It was a breakthrough USB for Tony Robbins, one of his events. Anyways, I listened to it for like 3 days. I couldn't stop listening to it. And that's where I really got addicted to motivation. So after that, I started like writing down goals, writing down gratitude. I started getting into meditating. I started listening to a lot of positive audios and podcasts. So like that was the first thing that got me into motivation. The second thing was like my wife, Marina, giving me The Secret book. And then I read the book, and I would start reading more books like Think and Grow Rich, but I'd read the books and I'd forget what I read from the books. So, me and her came up with an idea like, why don't you summarize these books in 10 takeaways? And I started a YouTube channel called Acez Top 10 Takeaways, where I'd summarize the book in a video in 10 minutes, 10 takeaways. So that way, instead of you reading the book, or so you don't forget the book, you get to remember that. So she helped me through that vision on YouTube. She also told me like one time, she's like, I don't know what it is about this binder, but I feel like in the future, you're going to be doing something with this binder. And it's crazy because I'm like consulting people now, teaching them how to be leaders and run a great culture through their own version of these binders. My virtual binder online, which is my course. But she also, affirmed that to me prior to me blowing up with the academy. So anyways, we're doing top 10 takeaways on YouTube. Then I started doing podcasts on YouTube. Then I started just doing like motivational things like your resources are your weapon, just like screaming with music in the background, doing motivational priming videos. And like throughout all these tunnels, remember, there wasn't a lot of engagement or views, and like that didn't stop me. I just kept going because through these tunnels, I was learning, I was developing. It was helping me grow. So that's all I focused on. I didn't focus on the people or anybody else, which is important because a lot of people out there will focus on judgment and what other people think. And I'll tell you, throughout my whole life, I didn't focus on that. From giving out flyers at parties, from the gas station to selling fireworks, to go in gas station to get, I didn't care about judgment. All I cared about, there was pain from the back. I never wanted to face the pain again. I wanted to get to the pleasure. I knew I was built for something else. They say every single time like adversity hits you, it's God testing you for the next thing and saying, are you ready? Do you remember what you're here for? Do you know what this lesson is going to be? And you always have 2 choices when you get adversity. One is, what are you going to do with it to move forward? And the other choice is you're going to complain about it, be negative, and then force a negative domino into your life. So one thing I've been doing a pretty good job at is just attacking the adversity head on every single time it happens. This is important for all salespeople. It's being ultra competitive. I was pissed off if I'm not number 1. When a stack rank comes off, I'm mad if I'm not at the top. If I'm consulting, I want to be the number 1 consultant out there. If I'm working out, I want to look the best. And this like competitive spirit and this aggressive competitive spirit that if you're going to do something, you want to be the best. And if you're not the best, you want to pretty much make sure that you're doing everything in your power to be the best, and there's no regrets left on the field. Because the biggest thing that pisses me off is leaving this desk and leaving this office and saying there was more I could have did today. And I want to ask you, do you have that in you where every single day you're upset at yourself? If you could ask yourself, was there more that I had today? And you look at the most successful people and the obsessive people, and this is what they ask themselves every single day. Was there more? And if the answer is no, there was nothing more, then let's do it again. Let's do it even better. And let's try to get more out of the tank tomorrow, some way, somehow. There has to be something that I could do better. And waking up with this obsession every single day. Getting crazy and getting aggressive, it's fun sometimes. But a lot of times I tell myself I need balance. And sometimes on a Wednesday or a Thursday, just randomly, I'll step away from the business early and I'll go enjoy the day. I'll sit outside. I'll take a walk. I'll take my family out to dinner randomly. Because sometimes the workload is just a lot, and if all you're doing is the workload 5, 6, 7 days a week, that can be very draining, and then that can make you lose your passion. Then you look in the mirror and you're not the same exact person you were when you started, and you don't know what's going on, and that happens to me a lot. And I have to tell myself it's time for a break. Sometimes I'll even tell myself it's time for a vacation. You've been grinding your ass off, let's go somewhere for a weekend. Let's get away, let's rejuvenate. And every single time you come back stronger. So take a break, have some balance. Make sure that you're spending time in your personal life. Make sure that you're not throwing all your passions to the side. Make sure that you're not seeing your family for months and months on. Make sure that you're communicating with friends. Take a break sometimes. The break makes you stronger. I told myself that today. I said, look, everything is okay. It really is. Sometimes we overcomplicate things, we worry about things, but something happens, like you throw out your back, you lose a loved one, somebody gets an illness, you talk to somebody that has it a lot worse than you, and it makes you realize, you get a rush of gratitude, and you say to yourself, everything is okay. I'm doing fine. Everything's going well in my life. And you have to remind yourself of that and be grateful for that, because everything could not be fine. And everything could be in shambles. And you could get one phone call right now that could ruin your whole entire life. You could get one phone call right now that could, God forbid, let's not even go there, but anything could change at the glimpse of a moment. So everything is okay. We're really doing a good job. And you got to remind yourself of that and pat yourself on the back. When I see somebody that has one small argument with somebody, or one fallout reason, or they wake up late, or they get a ticket on the road, or they get into a small accident, God forbid, or something happens, and this person like totally loses control, and it's like, stay away from this person for an hour, because you're not gonna be able, like, I totally feel like they've lost their purpose, and they've lost their why, and they've lost their values. You want to talk about, real imbalance? People say like work-life balance. How about like life bullshit balance? Like what you're doing this all for compared to all the bullshit balance. That's the real balance that you should have right now. Getting a ticket, being financially free. Working 12 hours, hitting the beach. Losing time with friends, having all the time that I want in my life. Like, what is really weighing on both sides when these small things that affect you happen? And then are you thinking about your purpose and thinking about everything in your life that's going good and where your life can be, and visualizing and doing all that? Because if you truly are, then you know where the weight scale stands. And you shouldn't let those things affect you. I'm not saying be a machine. I'm saying like internalize it. This happened. I get it. It sucks. What could I do now to keep moving forward? What could I do now to learn? How could I store this internally so it doesn't happen again? And then you keep moving forward every single time. It's really these things right here. It's all these small pieces to a puzzle. People are like, yeah, that's dumb. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like, all right, yeah, I'll listen to that. Yeah, no, I like music. Like all that small shit, you put it together and that adds up to the big thing. What does it take to be successful? What does it take to be successful? What does it take to be successful? It's not one thing. It was never ever one thing. It's all the out of the box, small, little weird one-off things that people do, and the greatest people do all those small one-off things consistently, and they're normal to them like they're normal to me, and they become big things, and then majority of people who are average think these people are crazy, and the people that are doing it, making big money, think everybody else is crazy. And it's a fucking paradigm shift of the mind. If you really know your purpose and your why, and you're really priming your mind for it, and your dreams are really important to you, then stop getting mad at the dumb shit. Stop turning around and going the other way. If you really know what you want, then you got to be like a shark, and a shark never moves directions, a shark never stops, a shark never turns around, a shark moves one direction straight, and it bulldozes through all the bullshit.
Like they say, if you have a bucket with holes and you're trying to fill it up with water, I mean, it is going through. If you can plug those holes, then you have buckets and buckets of water to draw from.
100%. I always tell leaders, your job as a leader is to plug the holes in your boat every single day, and understand there's always going to be a hole. That's how you stop stressing about leadership. You wake up and say, I'm going to have 3 holes today. Somebody's going to come in late. Somebody has a breakup. Somebody has this, just prepare for the worst. I call it fruit ninja. The fruit's in the air. Be ready to slash them every single day when you go out.
I love it. I'm not judging or telling anyone how to live or what to do. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't like what you're doing, why? And there is another way. You know what I mean? So people are like, there's so many different things that I want to do, and do them. Why wouldn't you? Oh, because this thing. That's not true. Stop playing the blame game, And if you can free up 80% of your time because you stop doing the things that don't matter anymore, then you can double down on the 20% that you do like and want to do. And the stuff that you have to get done, but you don't want to get done, sure, maybe you have to grind and get it done, just like every person on earth has to do. We're very fortunate, let's not pretend, but at the same time, there might be a way to outsource it, delegate it. Maybe it's really not necessary, and maybe you can eliminate, maybe there's some software you can use, and all of a sudden you're shrinking down all this stuff that wastes your time into almost nothing. And now you have an abundance of time for what you really want, which are opportunities.